Travel and Things, in association with Rugged Wear, Real People, Real Clothing, Real Solutions, presents In Conversation With. I'm your host, David Batsoffen, and in this series, we're looking at depression, COVID-induced depression with clinical psychologist Ruth Anser. Ruth, welcome back once again. Always a pleasure to talk to you. So far, we found out so much, I think, about ourselves and more specifically about the world around us. I don't know about other viewers, but for myself, I don't want to say I've become dysfunctional, but I go out less than I used to. And unless I absolutely have to, I'm not interested. I really and truly am not. Has COVID made me dysfunctional? Has it made me socially inept? And if so, how can we overcome this?
So it's hard to give a generalized answer that applies to every one of us. I think the question is, has COVID affected your functioning and made you less functional? But there is a distinction between less functional and dysfunctional. So dysfunctional is when it's to a degree where it's negative, where you are not doing things that you really need to be doing for your well-being. So dysfunctional is when you really need to look at it and address it because it's bad for you. Less functional is more relative. So for some people, I think that it really has made people less functional in that they are not doing things that were good for them, that they are not interacting or engaging with people where that was part of them having a balance in their lives. And perhaps a lot of people do feel that they've lost some sense of their social skills or their ability to want to go out. And a lot of people have found that being able to stay at home and have reasons to stay at home very comforting. For other people, they really need to go out and want to go out. And so I think that it becomes dysfunctional when we start, maybe we're too isolated, and when we start using unhealthy methods of coping. For example, using substances excessively, or using substances that are damaging to us, that's dysfunctional. If you become too withdrawn and you stop going to events and you stop going to, having social arrangements to the extent that it is now detrimental to you, then that's a problem. So I think that it's about recognizing how am I doing things differently, and is it a problem? For some people who used to enjoy going out a lot and socializing, they've kind of found a way to enjoy having a less active lifestyle. They're enjoying their own company more, and that's not a problem. That's a shift, and that's a change, and that's an adjustment. So I really think it really depends on circumstances. I do feel that for a lot of young people, it would be very useful for them to start getting out more. I think for people, especially those that have the tendency to be withdrawn, and where going out and seeing people and engaging is hard anyway, I think that kind of being too much in their comfort zone can make them much more isolated and can make them lose the ability that they might have started developing to be able to engage healthily in social circumstances. So that's where we have to look at it and say, okay, this is not good for children, this is not good for a friend of mine, or this is not good for myself. And how do I start addressing it now that the world is starting to open up?
Great stuff. Ruth, thanks very much. Once again, always good advice. I do hope that the viewers are taking this on board and making adjustments in their lives where they find it necessary. And you are allowed to go out, and you can fist bump, and you can elbow, and you can sit and have coffee. So you'll sit at different tables, that's all. But
and sit outside.
Yeah, exactly. You go to coffee shops that have an outside area. It's as simple as that. My guest today has been Ruth Anser, who's a clinical psychologist, and we've been talking about COVID-induced depression. Next week, we're going to be talking about ways to cope with difficult feelings. Ruth, once again, thanks very much for joining me.